everyone, my name's Debbie. I'm Mum Bear Stitchery here on Flosstube and over on Instagram, and this is a channel all about cross stitch. And today is a very special episode. It's not a regular Flosstube episode for me. It is going to be almost like a mini WIP parade of sorts, and will consist of two very distinct halves. The first half of the video, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of things that I plan to start in December. I finished a lot of things this year, and I think I'm going to reward myself with a whole bunch of starts, and actually it's 12 to be exact. I'm calling it my first official 12 starts of Stitchmas, and that is going to consist of starting a new start each day, beginning on the 12th of December. And I thought that was easy to remember, like 12 starts on the 12th. And it's kind of that nice period in the holidays where it's like school's winding down, the kids' activities are winding down, and I have time to start all these things. And that might sound like Stitch Mania to you, and it's pretty much the exact same thing, just I don't have time in May when that event happens. So mine's in December, and I'm going to call it Stitchmas. So that is what the first half of the video is going to be, my new starts, which are all ready to go already. And the second half of the video is then going to be a WIP parade of already established starts that I have that are going to fill up my 2024 WIPGO board. And there'll be more information of what that is if you're new to stitching once we get to that point. So let's kick off with all the things I'm planning to start, and I tell you, I want to start them all now, but I'm going to wait until December. Okay, so day one, which will be the 12th of December, is going to be, my pile is precarious, it's already fell twice. The first project that I'm going to start on December the 12th is this Mill Hill buttons and beads kit, the polar bears. It has everything needed to stitch this one up. The floss, the beads, the little button, and it has perforated paper. So this just needs to be sorted out onto a floss card. And those actually look like they're going to be pretty tricky colours. I might have to use my actual box of, I call it the mothership, where it's like my entire collection of DMC. I might have to use that to distinguish between some of those cream colours, but it should be easy enough. But that's going to be number one, the polar bears. And I'm already optimistic that I'm going to finish this one in the year that I've already went and bought the Mill Hill frame specifically for that buttons and beads kit. So I love that colour too. And speaking of finishes and how about all these starts, just like Stitch Mania, I'm going to employ the Brittany of Ingleside Imaginariums. It's called the Blimey Cap method, where if you don't finish it by the new start's birthday the following year, you have to work on it the day that you started it. And I'm going to do that. And some of these are pretty big, so they probably will be around the following year. But it's one method to make this like a game. And speaking of one of those projects that's probably going to be around for more than the year, is this next one. So this is going to be day 2, and it's the Luca S kit, landscape with poppies. And I have numerous Luca S kits, and I've never actually stitched any of them yet, I don't think. So this will be my first one, and I absolutely love this one. I have 2 girls, Maya and Elena, and that's what they remind me of. They're both blonde. So yeah, I absolutely love this one, love the colours in it. It'll be a nice project to work on as we're in the depths of winter. Well, what passes for the depths of winter in California. It's not like anywhere else. Maybe get to the 50s. But yeah, love the colours in this one. And like I said, it's a full kit. I'll try not to crinkle too much. Everything's wrapped on those tall bobbins. I don't know if I'm going to use, I'll see how it is once I start using it, whether these like unwind themselves too easily and whether they need transfer to actual bobbins, or this will do. And I'm just going to stitch it on the Ada that comes with the kit, which is a 16 count Ada. Is it Zweigart? Yeah, Zweigart Ada. and there's 4:1 colours. But that will be day 2. And I have a bunch of notes here because there's a lot of projects. The third project is The Ravens at Castle Kerr. This is by Maximum Cross Stitch Ellen. And I ordered this chart and the Leo and Roxy floss pack that goes with it straight from Evertote. And they were absolutely fantastic. I'm tempted to get some more kitted up charts and floss packs from them. But these flosses are absolutely beautiful and I can't wait to use them. This will be my first time using the Leo and Roxy flosses. And they're absolutely beautiful. So that's Ravens at Castle Kerr. And I don't know if you can see, the castle is made up of like specialty stitches. Is it special, or is it just straight stitches? I think it's Smyrna's, to give that some amazing texture. And I had to get this. It's a big Scottish castle with a giant tartan raven on it. So this one was calling my name. And I plan to put this one on a piece of 4 to count Wrendale in the colour Wet Sand by Stitch Me. And I think they're going to show up lovely. I love this red. It's maybe my favourite. So that's that one. Day 4 is going to be this chart. I actually got it signed. It's by Satsuma Street and Jodie signed it because this was the kit that we actually got at the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this year. It's the retreat put on by Acorns and Threads. And it's my first time going this year, and this was the project that Jodie of Satsuma Street provided. And she finished this cushion up herself. It was absolutely beautiful. And this is called Turning Leaves. And like I said, she gave us it all kitted up. So it's, I think it's a 32 count piece of Havana by Weeks Dye Works and Cosmo thread, which she uses quite a lot in her designs and I've never used before. So again, a new floss that I'm excited to try out. And yeah, this one just looked absolutely beautiful in person. So can't wait to stitch that one. And the leaves as well looked super 3D. And I think this one will be coming out a year from when the retreat happened. So just under a year from now. But you could check with Acorns and Threads because the year before that I didn't go to the retreat, but I called up Acorns and Threads and I was able to get the retreat projects that year ordering directly from their shop. So it's worth a try if that's something you would like to and don't want to wait. The next project is an oldie but a goodie, and it is the Plovers here. This one's a nice little small one. This one should be finished within the year, and it's by the Crossed Wing Cricket collection. No, just the Crosswing collection, and it's from the book Extinct is Forever number 16, and this is still available at 123 Stitch. So yeah, I'm just going to be stitching the Plovers, which is the little one there, and then there's a little baby one there. And I'm going to put this on. It's a 28 count joblin in the colour Through the Stones by Stitch Me. It's a nice grey, slightly green fabric. It's one of my favourites from Stitch Me. And I think it will look like they're just hanging out like in the little marshy area. So hopefully they pop on that. And that is day 5. Day 6 is a special day. It is the 17th of December and it is my birthday. So I thought I had to have a birthday bear start. And so I pulled this kit out, which it's been in my collection for quite a while. And it's an RTO kit. It's called Bear and Raspberry. And it is the full kit. But I'm not going to use the Ada that comes with this kit. I will use the floss, But I'm thinking I'm going to swap the Ada out for this fabric, which is 36 count Petals in the Wind by Seraphim. And I thought that would really pull in some of the pinks, like from the raspberries, and just give a nice mottled background. So that will be my birthday start, and hopefully my family will be accommodating and they'll do all the chores and I could just sit and stitch and have dinner like later on in the day. I can hope. Okay, December the 18th, which is going to be day 7. And I hope at this point I'm not losing steam. I'm having all these starts and it's more the taking things off cue snaps and putting things on and putting things away to try and keep it somewhat organized. I'm hoping I still have the motivation at this point. But day 7 is going to be this Wrendale design chart. It is called, I've been calling it the squirrel, but it's actually called the Acrobat. And this one features in the 2023 Wrendale Buff Threads calendar that comes with, is it the World of Cross Stitching? Or, yeah, supplement to the World of Cross Stitching. So it's a calendar, but you get all these charts too. And I actually just got the newest one that just came out as well. But this is actually my favourite calendar. So I'm doing the squirrel. And I'm planning on stitching on this almost like little sky blue. It's a 28 count Jobelin, and it is a silk weaver, but the sticker has long since fell off. I'm sure it's like rain shower or something like that. But yep, that'll be my squirrel on there. Okay, day 8. Stony Creek, Woodland Santa. I love all those animals that are on there. This one does call for a couple of over-dyed threads. I think it was only like 3. I did get those. The only thing I haven't got is there's like tiny little snowflake buttons on there. I haven't got those yet. Oh, and there is some red beads, Mill Hill beads in there that I do have. So I just need to get the snowflake buttons. But love this one. I love all the animals. I love how vintage it feels, even though this is a relatively new chart from them. Typical Stony Creek, lots of back stitch. And this one I actually got, here's the overdyes here, only 3. I got the called for fabric 2, which is a 28 count flax linen by Zweigart. So I'm stitching it as called for. The next one I'm really excited for. Oh, that was the beads. That was Santa's beads. The next one I'm really excited for. I've been wanting to start this one since I managed to snag this one off eBay. But just haven't got around to it. But this is the Power of the Serengeti. It's by Dimensions. It is an old kit. I haven't seen this one pop up even on the secondary market that often. Yeah, Power of the Serengeti. Love the elephants. Not gonna love sorting out those threads though, but it must be done. So I'll get that done before I get into the starts in December. But you see that Ada that's in there, is it 16 count? 16 count Dove Grey Ada. I am going to swap that out, and if you can see just in the background sky, there's some half stitches to give some movement. Well, I thought I'm just not going to stitch that, and I'm just going to put on some overdyed fabric, and I'm planning on using this. It's Pole Stitches. It's called Rumbles of Thunder, and I thought it would look like a sky that's about to rain, and that will look fantastic. Hopefully. But yeah, looking forward to starting that one. Less excited to sort the threads out. Where are we up to? Day 10. Day 10 is going to be the Scissor Sampler by Talon Emblem. I think she just brought out the next Scissor Sampler, or is about to, Scissor Sampler 2. But this is Scissor Sampler, the first one. I bought this and kitted it up when this chart came out, and it's just, for whatever reason, been passed over time and time again for other new starts. So this had to be in my lineup. And it is stitched in DMC and a bunch of Weeks dye works, which, like I said, I kitted up when it came out. And I'm going to stitch it on this piece. Oh, everything's going. This piece of 40 count Salt Rock by Colouring Cotton. This fabric seems like impossible to get on 1, 2, 3 stitch, even though I have a permanent alert me set up. It's one of my favourites. So that is that. This isn't too big. This is only 102 by 131, so this should be one of those that can get finished within the year. Because did I mention I'm going to work on it on its birthday if it hasn't been finished, and if I do finish the project within the year, I get to replace it with a new start. Is this the last one? No, second last one. Day 11 is the Animal Crackers series by Stacey Nash, and this is Theodore. This I picked up at Acres and Threads when I went to the Pacific Northwest retreat. I fell in love with this one. I love all of them. I think it's just the actual finishing part that scares me, but even if I can't manage it, I can always send it off somewhere. Again, that's totally new to me too, but this will be finished into that little cat. And I kitted this one up as called for, which is a bunch of Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works Grey. I just added all the called for into my cart, and it's a 35 count, and so it says stitch it 1/2. So that one will be great. I'd love to stitch all the ones that are in this series. There's the elephant, there's the little French bulldog. My final new start in December is Crow's Lullaby. So this will be on December the 23rd. And this is by Primitive Hair. Those crows are fantastic. And it says 1 for sorrow, 2 for luck, 3 for a wedding, 4 for death, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret not to be told, 8 for heaven, 9 for hell, and 10 for the devil's own cell. I didn't know it went up that high, but yeah. And originally I kitted this up with a fabric that looked very similar to the cover image, which is 30 count Old Salem linen by the Primitive Hair. But then I decided to go a little bit out of the box when I was digging through my stash. And I picked this one, which is 32 count Joblin in the colour Wicked by Stitch Me. I just thought that black would really pop on there, and it would look like a kind of spooky sky. So I thought that would be perfect for it. So that will be my last start, and that is Crow's Lullaby with just DMC 310. Yeah. So that is a lot of projects to like work on, and one of the ways that I'm going to tackle how I work on them is by employing WIPGO. So WIPGO was devised by Jessica Marie Does Stuff here on Flosstube and over on Instagram, and it's essentially a bingo board. I printed out a blank copy from the Facebook group, so you can design it however you want, but it's essentially a bingo board that's 5 by 5. And the idea is she will call 2 numbers on, I think it's the 25th or the 26th of the previous month, so then you've got 2 projects for the following month. And you fill this in with your projects, however many projects as you want. You can repeat them. You might only have 1, 2, or 3 and not 25 or 30 or a couple of hundred. So you fill this in however you want with your projects, however you want. And again, your goal on those projects before you can mark them off is completely up to you. And so I have put on my WIPGO board every single one of those 12 stars that I've just showed you. They take up a block each. The center block, a lot of people leave as a free space, so you can just colour that in whenever, when it's called. People just put a regular project in there. I am going to put another new start in there. I mean, why not? I've just shown you like 12 that I'm going to go for. Why not one more? And so this one I'm going to insert a cover image of, and it is Heaven and Earth Designs. It is Minnie She Sleeps with Butterflies. The artwork is by Margaret Morales, and it is only a mini, so it's 256 by 325. And I've been guilted into starting this one. I say that. But Elena and my daughter, she saw the cover image and she keeps coming through and saying, oh, have you started that for me yet? And I'm like, no. Do I need another full coverage? I mean, not really, but she really wants this one. So I have put that as my center block on the WIPGO board, and we'll be starting that when that number's called. So that's my first one. Oh, and I'm going to be stitching this one on 25 count, easy count, 1/1 full cross with the DMC. Now on to all the other projects. So like I showed you, WIPGO board. Those 12 new starts for Stitchmas will occupy 12 spots. The Heaven and Earth will occupy the center free spot, and the other 12, 6, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 12. The other 12 spots will be taken up by already established WIPs, which I'm going to clear this out of the way and go grab. So I'm back with all the other projects or works in progress that are going to occupy my 2024 WIPGO board. It doesn't mean that these are the only projects that I'm going to work on throughout the year, but it is the ones that I'm going to focus on and push towards that finish line. Other projects will come out. I haven't even thought about how I'm going to tackle my full coverage for the year. Speaking of Jessie Marie Does Stuff, she threw out the idea of 24 pages in 2024 for the full coverage designs, and I am totally on board for that. So maybe check out my regular Flosstube once I've come up with my idea. So these projects here, they are going to be sort of my focus pieces for the year. Other projects will pop in. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have new starts either. I will be doing smalls for retreat, special events like Long Dog Leap Day Sal. There'll be a new start for that. But these ones are going to get quite a lot of my focus. So the first one, and for these I will insert a cover image to the side because they're already WIPs. I've taken them all out of their project bags. So the first one is Stained Glass by Carolyn Manning. And this is where I'll be starting from. The colours on this fabric just absolutely pop. I love them. This is a 16 count Ada in the colour Midnight Grey, and I picked this up from 123 Stitch. And it's stitched all in DMC. And in fact, here's the DMC here. It's in my Bags Plus little bobbin holder thing. And this just pops straight into my project bag. So they're all together. But yeah, this one, oh, I love the colours on this. I'd love to get more done on it. And I stitched this one by stitching the black outline and then colouring in, essentially. But that's that one. The next one is Sewing Cats by Soda Stitch. And this is my starting point. And this is stitched on a 32 count Lugana in the colour Mint Splash. It is one of those Zweigart printed Adas, so there's nothing on the back, but those little dots, you can see the little dots are printed on. And this is the second almost little tower of animals that I've stitched from Soda Stitch. The last ones I stitched was the Cake Bears, or Sweet Bears it's called, and I worked my way the middle and then up to the top, and so it left me the wider shelf at the bottom to do last. This time I'm going to do the wider bottom shelf and work up now to the smaller ones, so I'm not left with that big shelf left, but they're all so cute. The next one is Something Wicked. This is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And this fabulous fabric is a 32 count Lugana, and it's called Love Who You Love by Mystic Fabrics. And it's just stitched all in DMC. I was hoping I would pick this one out in the month of October, but I just never got around to it. But 2024, it will see some progress. Next is Curious Hen. This is a kit by Bothy Threads, Wrendale Designs. And again, this is on a printed speckled Ada that came with the kit. And I don't have much done. I'm positive this, speaking of Stitch Mania, was a Stitch Mania start many years ago, and it's just languished in a box. But I'm using the kit fabric and kit floss. This one I was hoping would be a finish this year, and I haven't worked on it barely at all. And it is Koalas by Country Threads. There's a lot of fabric. And I haven't even finished the first koala yet. Almost, but not quite. And this is stitched on 32 count Lugana, and they call it Earth from Be Stitch Me. And this one's actually using anchor threads, is how it's charted. But that's that one. I have this down for an actual finish in 2024, so I need to get moving on this one. This one is Christmas in the Woods. This is another Stony Creek chart. Oh, and here is my starting point. Just that deer. I think I'm going to work down and do the toe before coming up and doing the name, which is, this is for Maya. So I've already finished Elena's stocking, so I need to get moving on hers so I can stitch Piot and I's stockings before they all leave home. But that's that one, and this is on 28 count Mushroom Lugana with the call for DMC. Ooh, another bear. This is Heavy Going Grizzly. It is a Jan Lynn kit. I'm stitching this one on a 32 count Lugana, just white. That's what, I don't have much margin at the top, but it'll be fine. And I think this one I'm just stalling on because it's just so many browns in that bear. So I need to work on it. Also need to pull out the back stitch here. I lost the back stitch chart for like a while, and I just guessed at what the blue colour was meant to be, and it's wrong since I found the sheet. So this is like page 2 of 4. So just need to work on that one. So maybe being called for WIPGO will actually help. I don't really have any big goals on these projects. Like, I think that's why I fell off the WIPGO wagon in years previous. So this, for 2024, my goal is just significant progress. I can take that as I wish. But the idea is more just pull some of these projects out and just get progress on them so they'll be finished at some point. Hopefully in the year, but it's more to work on them. This next one has not been out for forever. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I had it out. It must have been like at least 2, maybe 3 years ago. And it is Celestial Dragon by Joan Elliott. It's so sad there's hardly anything done on it. But I have a big bag of Kreinik to fill that moon in. And I thought this one had to go on the list. 2024 is the lunar year of the dragon. Fourth Wing is all popular right now, the book. If you know, you know. So I'm much into dragons right now. And so this one has to get some more work. And did I say what this one's stitched on? It's 32 Count Witching Hour by Under the Sea Fabrics. It is an amazing colour. And especially with all, like, there's a huge bag of Kreinik that goes into this. It's just going to pop and sparkle. Next one is Hope Sampler. This is by Moira Blackburn. This one's doing quite well. This is stitched all in DMC. It is on 40 Count Whimsical Winter, again by Under the Sea Fabrics. And this, where you see the stitches here, this is the bottom. So it just needs to go straight across from there and match up this side and obviously fill in the 5 million motifs that are still left to do, but it's getting there, it's getting there. The next one, I need to frog out some errors that I have on this. But this is Hawaiian Mandala Sampler by Ink Circles. And this is the bottom half of the chart. This is stitched on 40 Count Wrendale in the colour Lightly Salted Not Roasted by Be Stitch Me. And I'm stitching this in a stash floss conversion based on the cover image. So I need to fix some errors in the bottom of this giant motif and then stitch all that top half. But. Okay, second last one. This one definitely has not been out for a long time. This is called Le Charabos. I don't know how to pronounce that. By Nimue or Nimue. This again I think was a Stitch Mania start many years ago and has not been touched since. And that's all I have. That tiny bit of the cauldron and some of the patches on the cat. This is stitched on 32 Count Joblin in the colour Soaring Dragonfly by Hand Dye Fabrics by Stephanie. Famous last words, but I think I could finish this year. It is not big. This is only an 1/8 of fabric. And it only takes up that tiny little centre section. So, this can be finished. My final project that is on my WIPGO board and I definitely would like to finish in 2024 is Fish and Chips by Long Dog Samplers. And here's my starting point. This is page 2 out of 6. This is stitched on 32 Count Shimmering Azure by Under the Sea Fabrics. And it's DMC 3865. And I love how that white pops on the bright blue. So that is it. I hope that gave, if you're new here, thank you and welcome. And I hope you've seen some projects that you'll enjoy and come back and watch. And because it does give kind of shows the wide variety of everything that I like to stitch. And if you're returning, thank you. But that is all my projects and it's making me so excited for 2024 to like come around so I can work on all these things and try and get those finishes. I'm really excited for it. So I hope you will come back and join me. I will be back once more with a regular Flosstube episode at the end of November for my final update for the year before all these starts kick off. If you too would like to join in on 12 starts of Stitchmas this year, or WIPs, however you want to do it, you could use the hashtag 12 starts of Stitchmas or just Stitchmas 2023. We can hope that Instagram will eventually put back the regular search function. And if not, feel free to tag me in your posts. But until then, I hope you have a fabulous month, and I will see you at the end of November. Bye!